Them up, lace them up. This is another episode from yours truly, Law Nation. Yeah, come on. Mama said there will be days like this, but I come here to tell you one way or another. Let's go. Practice squad. In the 53-man roster, talk, conversation, Q&A, you name it, or claim it, we can talk about it. Yeah, come on, all right. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Yeah. Shout out to you, Sadiqa. Come on. Let's grind. Let's go. Hey, oh. I see you text me. I'm going to read it in a few. As we set up, break out the champagne bottles and the Hennessy, huh? Might as well. I hope you had a productive day at work today. Come on. I almost finished setting up, by the way. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. All right. Shout out to Grier, the new Cowboys. A lot of people think I don't like them. A lot of people say, Lord, why you hating on the man? No, I'm not hating on him. No. We don't hate. We congratulate over here because he himself will have a Super Bowl ring at the end of the year. Come on. Hey. Ho. Shout out to all of the people that's on the Facebook. I see you. Come on. Yeah. As we set up, I really appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of the nation. Come on. Jerry Jones. Hey, ain't no party like a cowboy party. Come on. If you don't like the Cowboys,
you must be out your goddamn mind.
Yeah. Come on.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah. Come on. Shout out to you, Kenny. I see you. Stan the man, I see you, fam. Come on. Oh, yeah. Law beat that time that was on the screen. Yeah. Hey. If it's your birthday this month, happy birthday to you. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. My name is Law Nation. If this is your first time ever on this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. It does something strange to the algorithm. It makes us go in certain ways on top of certain news feeds. And yeah, it helps the channel out, the selections. It helped everything out. That's all you got to do is just smash that like button. Really appreciate you guys. It is what it is. Shout out to you, Kelly. Appreciate you so much for your love and adulations there. Starting it off the right way, paying the way to come on off in here. I love it. You know, I always like to start off with things that's around me. And the thing that's around me right now was I was watching this movie or this series, All American. And it goes to this point here. Oh, I forgot. Let me do this right quick. Come on. There we go. AI. Hurry up, lady. All right. She always need a virtual coffee this time. Let me see if she can get it right. Come on, lady. Get it right. Okay, I see it on the screen. There we go. She'll come around when she want. But let me know if you guys watch All American. And I'm on the episode, and I'm way behind. I'm on season 1, by the way. And there you go, Kelly. Appreciate you so much for your love and adulation for the station. Really appreciate you. for doing all that you do to help grow this thing. If you guys were making donations earlier while I was on the final word, that's piped in through my guy, Boss Cowboys channel, so I'm not able to interact with you guys via the chat. So that's what happened there. So, but I really appreciate you guys for making your donations that help grow this thing. So I'm watching this movie, this series, the All American. I'm on season 1.
Dogs?
Appreciate you. About time. Shout out to the AI. She's a little late today. Y'all pardon her. I was watching. I'm at the episode where is
What's up, Law Dogs?
Oh, now she want to keep going, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm on the episode where why she finna go again? Come on, there you go. I'm on the episode where is the son of the football coach, the quarterback.
What's up, Law Dogs?
Yeah, she gonna go all day today. AI, you okay? You gonna let me talk today, AI? You gonna go again? Appreciate
What's
you, Jet
up,
Hugh.
Law Dogs?
Oh yeah, she gonna have to. Girl, you get your mind together, girl. All right, so here's the situation. The coach, son, that plays the quarterback role, he was going to a slight combine practice or what have you, and he's
What's up,
competing
Law
against.
Dogs?
I mean, get that virtual coffee in your system. Boy, she's on one today, baby. Yeah. She must got some of that Trojan in her. She must got that Trojan.
I want me some glory hole.
Hey, leave her alone, y'all. Girl. But I was watching the episode. I'm going to get it out one way or another, and we're going to talk about everything. But the episode was about him going to this combine thing. But before that time frame, he wanted to see his granddad, his pops. And his pops was the guy that was giving him instructions on how to become a better football player. But his pops, I'm talking about his granddad when I say pops. And I just call my granddaddy Pops, but his grandpa, his grandpa was a guy that's a hard-nosed guy. They call it like it is. He didn't sugarcoat him. He was giving him the truth. Go back and watch that first series when the son, went down to the quarterback, went down there to ingratiate himself with his grandfather. And his grandfather was telling him, man, you ain't that good. You throwing off your back foot. You can't hit your targets. You need to hit every target before I let you go. And then through the process and the course of it, I'm just telling you guys some real stuff right now. Through the process and the course of it, he let off a little bit and said, man, you did a good job because you only missed 2. But what happened here, Cowboy Nation, the dad came in and said, hey, man, that's how he is. He's a little rough and rugged on you. And he used to tell me all the time the exact same thing. Tough love is the best love. When people say, hey, I'm giving you that tough love, they trying to better you. My coach was the same way. Son, you running like you got bricks in your pocket. What are you eating? You slow. And then when I didn't compete on the way that I should have, and we go get something to eat, why you eating ketchup? That's what you were looking like on the field. You were trying to catch up. That's that tough love, Cowboy Nation. And that is what on All American the grandfather was trying to implement to the son. But the son couldn't see it because he thought that he was doing a great job. But what happened here, I'm got more to the story. When he went out there to the combine, Cowboy Nation, and throwing the ball around, he realized he had a few drop passes here, an inaccurate throw there, an inaccurate throw here, there. He was just all over the place. But the brother from Crenshaw, he was 9 for 9 on his targets or 12 for 12 on his targets. He was hitting every seam. He was fast. He was going through his reads right. And at the end, they was giving out awards or certificates to play at the combine to play on a 7-on-7 scrimmage. I come here to tell you guys, the son was telling the guy from Crenshaw, man, you was on point, man. You was making all your throws. I already know I'm not going to get an invitation to come back to play because I was horrible. I was terrible. And just before the brother from Crenshaw was saying, yeah, dog, I'm on my stuff, the recruiter came to him, the guy that was awful, and gave him the invitation. That is what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys would rather for you to feel comfortable. They don't believe in the iron sharpen iron situation. I've heard people bring up the ideology that you shouldn't bring in this guy because he don't want to be a backup quarterback. I'm not finna say any names. That's bull sugar at its max. The philosophy will be, I'm bringing in anybody that can take your job, take your position. You got to fight for it. You would never feel comfortable. I don't care how much money you were making. A good prime example for that was over there in Seattle Seahawks land. Matt Flynn got $15 to $20 million at the time. Shoe-in starting quarterback. But the coach and the philosophy and the system, they didn't show any favoritism. Oh, this short quarterback who can barely see over the offensive line. Beat him out fair and squarely. His name is Russell Wilson, by the way. And they said, Matt Flynn, we like you, but unfortunately, this job belongs to this guy, Russell Wilson. There was no favoritism. There was no politics that was involved. See, the Cowboys got to get out of their favoritism stuff. You guys might not like me because I'm telling you the truth. The truth hurts. Hey, the dog that yelps is the dog that get hit with the brick. I digress. But people love comfortable lies. That sofa, man, you got thousands of people sitting on it. They'll kick their feet back, and they would love those comfortable lies. Let me fix something right quick. They would love those comfortable lies. They would love for me to come out here and say, man, Cowboys don't believe in that. No. Laurel said sponsors and boosters played a big role in the All-American, just like it plays a big role in Dallas. That's the truth bomb right there. That's truth coming. Oh, my goodness. There's no way that you can say, okay, when we look at this list, shout out to John Machota. Be sure to check out his Instagram or IG page. Either one. He got great content, great information. Let me clean it up a little bit so you guys can see his name and all of his accolades there. Just bear with me right quick. Let me slide. Oh, come on, computer. Wake up. Come on, computer. Come on now. Come on. You ain't got to do it like that. Oh, here we go. It's my fault. My fault. It's right here, huh? Come on. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. See, John Machota name right there. All right, so we got Cowboys initial practice squad guys, and this is all about what I did here. Double time. Hold on. Get out of the way. Bam. Get out of the way. All right, so what you see here, Cowboy Nation, is initial practice squad. Let me just do this too while I'm here. I had to get rid of it. All right, so Cowboys initial practice squad. You see Ben DiNucci. You see Jaquan Hardy, Nick Ralston, who I believe he should be elevated depending on what Coach Marv was talking about. If you want to establish a team that's physical, you want to establish a team that got that type of, hey, we want to demand that we are physical, more physical than you, then you bring out players that are physical. We are paper thin as it relates to running back. We only got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So at some point you would think if you're going to go with the physical route, you would activate, dare I say, 3 running backs because you got to have pro and power sets, when you do those things. with a fullback or with a strong tight end that can move some stuff around. They brought back Brandon Smith, who emerges, man, from Iowa, pretty good this offseason in certain spurts, man, so he got some room to grow. They brought back Osiris Mitchell, who I believe will make a great impact, not this year, but next year, of course. But he's continued to grow and develop. I've seen him own Anthony Brown, and I know that could be just, hey, that could be anybody. Hell, you can put me in some shirts and pads, and you probably roll me out there. I probably can get him one time at least. But shout out to Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown like, nah, dog, you just keep talking. Don't get out there on the field, man. I lock you down. Well, I'll be like, yeah, at least you locked down somebody. But neither here nor there. Jeremy Sprinkles, I didn't even know that he was practice squad eligible. How many years Jeremy been in the league? But neither here nor there. They brought back Braylon Jones, Isaac. I'm rooting for Isaac, by the way. Justin Hamilton. When I saw the cut list, I was very, very like, gosh, come on, Cowboy Nation. He's not going to be the splash Jerry. He's not going to be the high-ticket sales guy, Jerry, but you need to utilize that big boy, that big plug that you can put inside. This guy can make something happen for you. But they brought him back, which is good, which I really like. Austin Follow You, number 58, they brought him back, so that's good. I like those two defensive linemen. Austin, he just got to work on a few things. I think that he's going to put on a few pounds this offseason. Next year, you'll see a better Austin. Deontay, I call him DeAndre, but Deontay Burton, they bringing him back for another cup of coffee. And according to a lot of notes, that they said that he had a great camp. He did pretty good. And when his name was called upon against the Jacksonville Jaguars, they didn't see no fault in him. And sometimes I'll be scratching my head and sitting there saying, what the hell do the Cowboys front office see sometime in players?
Shame. Shame.
How you even fix your mouth to say that? But you know, they know more football than us, though. You know, we just watch the game. We just like look at it like, oh, the Jacksonville Jaguars are not just picking on him; they're picking on everybody.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You mean to tell me there are 31 other teams that was out there that they don't have a legitimate defensive back that you can bring back out there to compete for a role? Hey, it's just, if they bringing them back, can they just do us all one favor? Can they have somebody to snatch 33 off of him? It's a disrespect to the legendary number 33. Can y'all at least save face and do that for us? We don't need to see 33 out there looking that bad. And look, we never seen 33 look that bad out there on the field. Can somebody reach out to Jerry Wayne Jones? And I understand this was before he bought the team or what have you, 33 and all of the legacy and all this stuff. But can somebody let him know that number right there shouldn't be sullied and denigrated and cast aspersions and looking like it is like that? 33 should not be on that man. Somebody go reach out to the Rich Dalrymple, whoever, and tell him back, hey, bring him back. Yeah, that's cool, but can you take 33 off of him? Please. Please.
Shame. Shame.
Come on now.
Shame.
Yeah, that's the baddest. Look, have we ever seen 33 look that bad? Diehard Cowboy. I'm talking not just to the casual fans. I'm talking to the diehard Cowboy fans when I'm talking about 3-3. You know, good grief. And they brought back K-Ron Brown, who, you know, he all right, you know. He's a little aggressive when we was out there in practice. Darian Thompson, they brought him back. He's a special teams ace type of guy, which is cool. And they brought back my guy, Tyler Cole, so I can't wait to see him out there on the field. Well, when he's elevated or what have you, that will be a good situation for him. Appreciate the mods, man. I see y'all working hard over there. I thank y'all for all that you guys do. How do you feel about the Cowboys bringing in Will Grier as a backup QB behind Dak Prescott? before I go into details, let's listen in to 105.3 The Fan. My guy, Jeff Kavanaugh, he's a great draft guy. Anytime you're looking for draft conversations, please reach out to Jeff Kavanaugh and Vach Lombardi, Foots the King. I think that they have great draft acumen. You know, they go through a rigorous situation of looking at film, and that's where they are pretty much good to. Check out my guy, Boss Cowboy, too. He's really into the film. He even got a draft guide, like a draft book. And Dane, what's Dane last name? Is it Bugler? Y'all check out those guys. And of course, Brian brought us. Let's listen to this guy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Studio De Jefre, where we do have some breaking Cowboys news. The Cowboys have claimed former Panthers quarterback Will Grier on waivers, which means that they're going to have to put him on the 53-man roster, which means we shall see if they're going to be carrying three quarterbacks with him and Cooper Rush, or if Cooper Rush is not going to be long for this team. But either way, one of the fun things to me about studying the draft every year is that every time that a player gets claimed, a player gets waived, a player whatever, I'll have a reference point because I'll go back to my notes and we will see, hey, what did I think about that guy when he was coming into the NFL draft? And he also, Will Grier, has a connection to Cowboys quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier. Nussmeier and he were together at the University of Florida for a year. Now, we will just go back and read our Will Grier 2019 NFL draft notes. Will Grier, right. West Virginia, 6024. That means he's 6'2.5", 217 pounds, 4'8", 40. And we get into the notes.
The notes.
Love his deep ball.
The deep ball.
He's got good touch. Very accurate thrower. Doesn't have a big arm. Think he throws it very well. Accuracy and ball placement may be the best in class. Very good down the field thrower. Can't muscle up on some of the throws that guys like Locke and Murray can.
He needs some milk.
But he has better touch on the ball than Locke. Going to hit the proper shoulder. Going to give his guy a chance. Because his guys are so open so often, when a play isn't clean and there's pressure or he has to move and nothing's wide open, you'll get bad decision-making. So Will Grier, West Virginia, third-round pick in 2019. Your brief profile.
All right, so that was my guy, Jeff Kavanaugh, who always delivering good information. Delivering great information, not good information. The guys deliver great information. At his college, the style of offense that West Virginia throws is not a vertical offense. We've been talking and banging on the table like we want more West Coast offense, but this is the vertical offense. This offense is a variant of Scott Linehan's / Jason Garrett's offense. Once again, the only difference that we see from this offense than when Scott Linehan was running the offense are more motions pre-snap. You can pull up 2016 offense, 17, 18, and you can pull up this offense. 2019, 2020. Is the exact same replicate. There's no difference. Can anybody point out the differences on this offense opposed to what we've seen in the last 10 years? I'll wait. Outside of the fact that you do a little bit more pre-snap motions, it's the exact same situation. Now, what I would like, since we're talking about if this team can be more physical, if this team can be more of a physical approach to the game, then what you would do in that situation and scenario, that you would have more jumbos, you would have more 12 personnel opposed to 11. And at one point we sneezed at 12 because we just didn't have the personnel, but that was the staple piece of Jace and Garrett's offense. But he wanted to mix in some of the stuff that Scott Linehan had. But you guys remember when we was trying to run it a little bit, and we had the guy, I forgot his name, from San Diego State, the tight end. What was his name? I think it was Elvis or something. What was his name? Escobar or something like that. I forgot his name. And we were sitting there saying, okay, we're going to roll that out. But he was more of a finesse guy. He wasn't that physical grinder addition type of guy. What was his name? God dog, was it Escobar or something? And we thought that we would be able to roll out a Jason Witten and an Escobar. Galvin, appreciate y'all. Man, y'all brilliant. Y'all wonderful, man. I love y'all. And then they tried to do it a little bit with Martellus Bennett and Jason Witten. That was the 12 personnel that you would like to see. Heavy protection, protect the quarterback, vertical spread type of offense or vertical style type of offense. Not necessarily too much of a spread because it's still X wide receiver dominant. Well, this offense is still, for the 2021, is a hybrid, a little bit of that. And now we got the personnel to run a good doses of 12 personnel. We do. We can even roll out 22. We can with the personnel that we got now, especially with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield at the same time. I don't think we can do 23, but we can do some 22. But this team, and some 21s and some 20 if we want to. But this is the type of offense that we got. It's not a lot of short passes, not a lot of drags, not a lot of West Coast-esque type of offense.
Formation with McGovern as FB, smiley face.
You want McGovern as a fullback? Hey, that probably will work. Yeah, that's physicality, right? They did a little bit of it when they had Jumbo Joe like that, but they're not gonna do that. But our formation with that Nick Ralston, that can be a good situation in a scenario. Lanahan used fullback, Kellen doesn't. This is from Vegas, underrated. But Lanahan offense was X-dominant, right? If you go back onto all of the teams that he ever been the offensive coordinator, he always had the X-dominant wide receiver, whether it be Randy Moss, whether it be Megatron, whether it be Desmond Bryant or what have you. So this team right here, we somehow got a lot of good wide receivers. This offense can still be X-dominant. It will be. It will be, believe it or not, X-dominant. It's just that now the role is reversed. The X receiver in the previous years was Michael Gallup. He was the guy that lined up on X independently by himself. Now, who's going to be inserted in that role would be your boy, CeeDee Lamb. And I can't wait to see it because they still going to have to follow trail and cover Amari Cooper because he lines up sometimes in the slot and on the outside by himself. And we will see how that will work. The offense can still go. But what I'm trying to get at is that this is still a vertical style of offense. The only person that's going to be running underneath, the only person that's going to be ready for those quick ones would be the Amari Coopers. And on top of that, that's just how this thing goes. Nooch suck, worst quarterback in the NFL. Mama, there goes that man 88 again. Yeah. Shout out to everybody. Newton just want a squad to play for. Not a backup or not. Please stop. Newton doesn't want to be a backup. R. Lumex. How can I put this? I don't want any quarterback that desire to be a backup unless they're in their late 30s, early 40s. I want everybody to have that aggressive mentality to fight like holy hell to be the number one quarterback. I want that person to be looking at that situation in a scenario and saying, I'm ready to take over. That's the mentality. That is what Coach was trying to do. Skip Pete, that's Rodney Pete, brother. He was trying to tell the dude in a calm fashion that, like, not everybody, whoever watched the Hard Knocks episode from last night, he was trying to tell Jaquan Hardy that, man, some people took this opportunity and they ran off with it. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. If I'm Jaquan Hardy, I'm looking at Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard saying, I want that role. I want that spot. But when you put yourself in a box, you're no longer going to be able to climb out of that box because of your mentality. It's time out to be a beta male. You see, you want to be that alpha male mentality. You want to have the mindset like TD had, Terrell Davis. Undrafted guy. Was he undrafted? Got an opportunity to play, and he said, look, I'm not looking back. I'm not finna stop right now. Oh, excuse me, one of the greatest quarterbacks that we're going to ever witness in our lifetime. Got 7 Super Bowls, was drafted in the 6th round. Do you think that he had a chance in a scenario against Drew Bledsoe? If he sat there and listened to the naysayers? No, he took that opportunity and bit down on it and never let it go. That's the mentality that I want my quarterbacks to have as the backup. I want them to look at this situation and say, I'm finna bite down on it and I'm not finna let go. I'm not. That should be the same mindset that the wide receivers have, regardless of the limitations or their skill set or ability. That should be Cedric Wilson's thoughts. Oh, if any of these wide receivers go down, give me the shine for your mind, baby. But he shouldn't be looking at this thing saying, I'm only the 4th option. He shouldn't be looking at this thing and saying, hey, my capabilities is only because of this. No. Case in point, Antonio Brown. What round was he drafted in? Could he look at his situations and circumstances, and although he's kind of crazy and got screws loose in his head, but he could have looked at that circumstances and said, hey, these are my circumstances. This is where my box is going to be at. TD was a 6th round draft pick. Appreciate you, Glenn. Or even Shay Sharp, I can't stand him. He was undrafted or something like that, right? Appreciate y'all. Yeah. Oh, and another thing, watching their Hard Knocks, man, they need some coaches with some fire in there. This seems like that. And I know the camera's on and not everybody can talk with cameras in their faces. But good grief, Joe Witt Jr. look like he's scared to say something. And his cuss words like, come on, man, you don't even need to put your cuss words there. Get up there and talk to that defense. Let them know. Let them know. But when you call that play, when you want a player to shoot through A gap or shoot through the B gap, you let them know you don't want to tell your players shoot through there. No. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Shoot through there. Put some fire up under them. These guys laughing at you. Shay was a 7th round draft pick. Appreciate you. Excuse me, Cowboy Nation. I'm just passionate when I speak. But these guys right here on this list, this should be their wake-up call. Ben DiNucci, this should be his wake-up call. He should be looking at this situation and opportunity, even though he played like what's on the bottom of your feet at most of the time during his offseason and preseason. He should look at this and say, hey, never again. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. Hardy, your check that you get now, go and invest in yourself and go get LASIK surgery so you won't have to be fumbling, bumbling, and looking around for contact lenses. Yes, the glasses, the guys fogged all over them. Reach out to Rex, Specs, whoever it is that makes those glasses if you don't want to get LASIK surgery. And tell them, hey, I'm playing for the Dallas Cowboys, a multi-billion-dollar organization. I need product. Right? I need product. Going back to All-American, right? Cool. She trying to get back at Tyrone, but she want to be able to move the situation for him. She going back to him, right? Tyrone, I want product. Nah, you can't get product. But I want it. See how bad she wanted it? Got her butt whooped. But it's an underlining storyline on American, you know. Cool, I'm throwing the movie at you, the show, the series at you. But that's how bad she wanted. She's willing to get beat up. So Jaquan Hardy, next season, around this time, You should have either LASIK surgery or a branded deal with somebody with Rex glasses so that we won't have those excuses. Because it sounds like weakness when you yell out and say, hey, I can't see, I can't. That sounds like weak stuff. Unless you're satisfied where you at and say, hey, I made it. I planned for the practice squad for the Dallas Cowboys. They're paying me more than the average doctor that's in my area. I made it. Some people, that's their goal. Appreciate y'all for jumping in. I'm not yelling at y'all, man. I'm not yelling at y'all. Yeah, but y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, the asthma field is over there. Naheem is on the money with it. Oh, my goodness, Naheem is on the money with it. Yeah, Naheem is on the money with it. And that should be the mindset. It's hard to shape and shift mindsets into people.
Is the dude can throw the ball. He's a really accurate thrower of a football. His results when he actually got to play NFL football in Carolina were awful, so go ahead and temper it with that. But he was a guy in college that in the Big 12, when you're getting the ball out on time, when wide receivers are open, and look, a lot of guys can do it, right? It's very, very easy to throw it to open receivers all the time. His problem is outside of structure. When a play breaks down, when he's not well protected, it can affect the decision-making in a bad way, and then he doesn't have a big arm. Those are two things that aren't good. But if you were going to put him behind a Cowboys offensive line with incredible weapons, maybe it would work out. It's pretty encouraging to just have a guy that is a super accurate thrower of the football. And you got to see who he is now, because that was 2019 where those notes were from. But I thought you guys might appreciate a quick little thumbnail.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Kavanaugh on that. I love my guy, man. I love him. Brilliant guy. I could fight tooth and nail with him. But the theory of having a solid offensive line and a quarterback having time to throw, I've seen this storyline before. Matter of fact, if I had Stevie Wonder vision, I can still picture it, write it down, and give it to you guys verbatim. Brandon Weeden throw the best ball we can ever see. I fought people tooth and nail, and I wish I started my YouTube channel in 2015. But my brother will let you know, I fought people tooth and nail when people were saying that Brandon Weeden, I'm not lying, was better than Tony Romo because he could throw the deep ball and these sorts of things. Oh, you put Brandon Weeden, hear me out, don't shank me with a butter knife. They said that Brandon Weeden throw the best ball. And behind this offensive line, Brandon Weeden would put up better numbers than Tony Romo. And I was telling them, nah, dog, it's more to that. No. And I was telling them, hey, lean forward a little bit. But see, a lot of people don't understand that. See, they forget. I don't. I still got stuff. I still got notes on all of these people. All of these people, you know. Matt Castle. Oh, the storyline. He admired Troy Aikman. He grew up loving and emulating Troy Aikman. He took the Kansas City Chiefs 11-5 or something like that. Oh, he was a great guy. He played for the New England Patriots. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Matt Castle. I'm not talking about Jeff Kavanaugh. No. But I'm talking about, collectively speaking, the optimism of Matthew Castle. I just wish I had my YouTube page in 2015. He just need a chance. That offensive line, boy, behind this offensive line, he'll throw for 3,000 yards. Y'all let me know, collectively speaking, what Brandon Weeden did, as well as Matthew Castle. Behind that offensive line. The healthiest part of the offensive line in 2015, by the way. Oh, my goodness. Do you like Corey Clement signing?
Do you like the Corey Clement signing, washed?
He signed with Washington? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I had no opinion on that, Justin. I appreciate you for making the donation. It is what it is, Cowboy Nation, and I'm not sitting here. Hit him, Law. Yeah, I'm not sitting here beating on my chest because I'm not the guy that sit back and say I'm right. I'm never that guy. I would rather be wrong. Oh, Matt Castle went 11-5 with the Pats. Okay, appreciate you. I know it was with one of those teams, the Patriots, the Patriots or the Chiefs. Did he go 10-6 with the Chiefs? What was his record with the Chiefs? We went 1-11 in 2015 between Weed and Castle and Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore at the last game of the season, he threw for 400-some yards in one game. And I was saying, like, yeah. And Kellen Moore was everything that people talked about right now with Will Grier. Kellen Moore in this offense just didn't have that. He went 10-6. Okay, great. Yeah. So let's go to show you that, Cowboy Nation. This team, regardless.
Cowboys just signed Corey Clement, not WFT.
Oh, not them. Who is Corey Clement? What position he play? Excuse me for not knowing. Is he a DB or something? I forgot. Name sound familiar. What Corey Clement play? Just one season. I gotta go to the. Y'all got me going over here. Let me go to the Google, man. He a running back? Running back. Oh, he signed. For TD. Y'all got me y'all off on this one. Corey Clement. I don't even know. He caught the TD pass in the Super Bowl. Okay, Clemens. Okay. He was like the third rotation, right? Fourth rotation, right? Shoot, you know who I wanted? I wanted that Barber kid. Is it Peyton Barber? I wanted him. If you can bring him in for a cup of coffee. Yeah. What was his name? Is it Peyton Barber? Let me see if I spelled it right. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay. I think I like this kid. Let me see if I can pull up his stuff. 5'11". Shoot, he ran with authority. 225 pounds. I just like the way he was getting up and down the field. But he's from Auburn. Okay. Where he going to? Because when the Washington team released him, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Not a big surprise, the Saints moving on from Devontae Freeman, who, of course, had some really productive years with the Atlanta Falcons, bounced around last season, went on a minimum type of deal to New Orleans, but found himself buried on the depth chart behind Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray, Tony Jones Jr., 28 years old. You wonder what the next steps are now for Devontae Freeman. In other news, with skilled players, Washington releasing running back Peyton Barber, another guy who got caught in a numbers game. Undrafted rookie Jarrett Patterson's emergence certainly was a factor there. Washington also waiving wide receiver Antonio Gandy Golden. He was a fourth.
I don't know that guy, Gandy Golden. And I think the other wide receiver from the Eagles, that guy that gave us some issues, was it Fulgham? Y'all remember him? I think Carson Wentz last season, he'd draw back and say, Fulgham. He'd throw the Fulgham. Oh, man. Clement had one long run. Yeah. Travis Fulgham. Y'all remember him? Shoot, why they released him? I don't know why, but he was just catching everything. Maybe he's on their practice squad now. 435. Y'all want to take phone calls? Or y'all want to listen to some what this toxic stuff talking about over here on Cowboys Undisputed? Let me know. But David, you remember, we was doing the play-by-play, and we was like, man, that Fulgham, man, he just killing those teams over there. Should we sign David DeCastro? Yeah. He's a left guard. I don't know too much about Desmond Trufant. I don't know too much about him. I just think that at the pace and what he was able to bring to the game, Desmond Trufant, the only Desmond I would have paid attention to was Desmond King when he was available. But, outside of that, I don't think we should go with that. Eagles are loaded wide receiver. Please, corner. Is DeCastro healthy? That's a big – let me copy this name. Let me look him up. DeCastro. I think that's how you say it. Is it David DeCastro? Let me see. There's David. There we go. Need for an ankle. Oh, he needs surgery. No, he's not healthy then. No, don't want to deal with that. Last night we was doing the show, The Final Word, and we went over like some of the players are healthy. They come back. They okay. They ready to play and these sorts of things. And one of the things that I believe Boss Cowboy brought up was the fact that, or was it Big Game James? One of the two. They brought up their reservations on Tristan Hill. He had his surgery after Blake Jarwin. Blake Jarwin got injured the first game of the year. And then Tristan, I believe, around that Giants game, he got injured. And right now, Jarwin is back on the field. But what I wanted to say, and I didn't get a chance to say it last night, was there's a major difference between recovering from a lower body extremity injury when you are the height and size of a Blake Jarwin opposed to the height and size of a Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill is like 315 to close to 20 pounds. So that weight and the distribution of weight is a whole lot different. The recovery time frame is a whole lot different opposed to the two. So you can't measure the two the same. Thomas Lee said Hill is a bust, though. Basically, we just got to pray and hope Hill can show us something. Now, when me and Vach was out there in training camp, we got a chance to see Hill move around. He can move around pretty quickly. He's moving around pretty smooth. And but we never saw him with pads on, though. So maybe it's something. Maybe it's a lingering type of situation for them. Savage One says cut Hill. Yeah, Hill's the bust. Yeah.
Did Jerry just say that Cooper Rush and a high bar?
Yeah, raved about him. He can run every play in the book that Dak can run.
No, he can't. Because if that's the case, you wouldn't have gave $160 million to Dak Prescott. You could have saved yourself about $150 million and paid Cooper Rush.
Remember, they had paid Cooper Rush last year until Andy Dalton became available.
And then they cut him.
Yeah, here we go.
But he can run all the plays that Dak, but he couldn't run all the plays that Andy Dalton can run. But that's another story, Skip.
Okay.
Look, I think one of the things that's going to – look, I talked to someone close to Cam, and what I was told is that Cam would not have a problem being a backup. He says, I don't want that out there, that Cam – is opposed to being a backup.
Did y'all hear that? And the reason why Shay Sharp, and this is, I'm not trying to give them pub or anything because I still like to tell them lean forward, But Shay Sharp is from Georgia, man. Cam played majority of his time in Georgia, lived in Georgia majority of his time or what have you. So his resources as it relates to this type of conversational piece are solid.
Cam wants to get to a good situation, and we'll go from there. We'll take it from there. The problem that I think he runs into Dallas, and maybe he changes his stance because it might impact his employment, is the vaccine. And so if and willing, because Jerry's made it abundantly clear, he wants his guys vaccinated. That was one of the things he voiced that. It didn't know. I wonder what Jerry thinks about this. There's one thing about Jerry Jones. You know exactly where he stands on certain issues, Skip.
Yep.
He'll put it out there. So
well, aren't we about to the point where everybody's going to require it?
I believe so, Skip. Urban Meyer, we knew this, but Urban Meyer voiced it. Yeah, we cut some players that were unvaccinated.
Yeah.
The guy in Buffalo.
He said it was a consideration for the cut. Yes. Yep.
Buffalo, the same thing. We considered cutting play, which means we did. I think everybody's factoring that into it, Skip. And I said this: if it's close, if I got 2 players and it's close, one's vaccinated, one isn't. Guess which one I'm choosing? Because the guy that's unvaccinated could blow up my season. He can impact the entire locker room. That's not to say that vaccinated players can't get it. They're less likely to get it. They're less likely to suffer the severe side effects, and they're less likely to require hospitalization. So that's where we are with that. But, Skip, I do think, he probably would like to look at Dallas if Dallas is interested. I think Houston would be a better fit considering what they have at the quarterback position, Skip. Because I think you and I are in agreement on this. Deshaun Watson is no longer playing for the Houston Texans.
They kept him on the roster, but I'm pretty sure his days are done. And that was his choice, right?
Correct. Correct. I'm thinking that he's probably going to be on the commissioner's exempt list, and then they're going to try to work out something behind the scenes to move him somewhere, considering what they can get. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Another thing, Skip, Cam's a good guy. Cam is not a bad guy. Cam doesn't get in trouble.
No.
But maybe his personality, the outgoingness, maybe he has to temper that.
It is a huge natural personality.
It is.
He was born with it.
He is, and that's him.
Mac Barkley still playing quarterback?
Jerry is the personality for the Cowboys.
Well,
we don't normally say this about an owner, but Jerry Jones is the face of the Cowboys. And when you think Dallas Cowboys, you don't think a particular player, you think of its owner. And it's very seldom that you see that. You go back to maybe Al Davis and Mr. Steinbrenner, George Steinbrenner. Other than that, Skip, it's always been the best player, whatever the sport is, that's the face of the team.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation to go back and forward with talking about people with their minds are made up and how the NFL is operating and working under these stipulations and the protocols that they are establishing out there. Barkley's still a backup quarterback. Sleep at night better and better swing tackle. Yeah. Kimberly says, get your head in the game, not on the women. Dallas need to win, not ladies. Yeah, I agree. You got to win at all costs. But I believe that the Cowboys are looking at this, and this is just my gumption of everything, is that the Cowboys are looking at this. If Dak Prescott is not able to play, then we're doomed. That's how they're looking at it. And I just can't listen too much to all of the other stuff with the D's and this and that. I think that Will Grier, if given the chances and opportunity, even though I'm not sold on him, even though we can try to circumvent it and say, well, this and that and this. Dude threw for 4 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and his QB passer rating is 33.2. Anybody else with those type of stats, you're yelling and banging on the table and you're laughing at him. But since he's on the Cowboys, we heard this storyline before. Give him a chance, give him opportunity. He never got a chance to play behind this offensive line, never got a chance to play these weapons. Given that it's the Cowboys, we only want to hear the comfortable lies. We only want to hear the positive parts of it. Y'all want to drink the yak. No, y'all want the Kool-Aid. But it is what it is. My team always come before the ladies. Shout out to you, Cam, with the K. Law Nation, what's up? What's good? All right, let's do this. Y'all call in if you want to have the conversation for the nation. Here we go. Phone lines at the top of the screen. Since we got some people in the house, the number to call in is 657-390-7391. If you have a different set of opinions, different set of thoughts, I want you to voice it. But y'all know where I stand at on a lot of this stuff, And while I'm setting this up, let me see who else we had over here. Let them ramble around.
But that's not how it worked with the Cowboys. So maybe Cam needs to temper. It's a big blow, Skip. This is the second time Cam has been released. He got released by Carolina unexpectedly. He got released by the Patriots. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Maybe but Mac Jones played extremely well.
Who?
And I'm listening to the reports coming out of New England. What was one of the biggest turning points, Skip? Those 3 days that Cam Newton was not there to practice. And I said it. Cam, you gave this kid an opening. The vaccinations, quietly behind the scenes, there are a lot of rumblings about being vaccinated. Hold on, you got this last year. You ain't learned your lesson. You might blow my entire season up. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Hell, you looking at a guy across from you, Skip. Hell, that's how I got my chance. Clarence K got hurt. Orson Mobley got hurt. Chris Verhulst got hurt. Coach Reed said, well, what do you think about this? They put me in the game. I wasn't great, but I did. They're like, hold on. We might be on to something.
7th round pick.
Guess what? Guess who kept starting? Guess who ended up getting released?
Guess who went to the Hall of Fame?
That's how it worked. Okay. I would have never got an opportunity at the tight end position. I was still a wide receiver. So Cam.
Our team has way too much hype. We need some honest reporting. All we hear is Player X is doing incredible, and come game time there are no shows.
I mean, Mark, man, you spitting, you spitting all the truth over here. Oh my goodness, Mark. Appreciate you for that altogether, spitting the truth. My thing is, I don't want people to look at this thing as it's only this versus it's that. Because there is a time. There's a time for everything. There's a time for war. There's a time for happiness. There's a time to joke. There's a time for to being real, and there's a time to be a fan and an analyst. But you got to be able, the great ones are able to decipher those two things and to pull your loved one back and say, hey, man, I know you've been trying to sing, but you're a better writer. I know you want to be a singer, but you're a better writer right now. Oh, it's time for you to be open and honest to your friend and say, hey, man, I got this stick of gum. This is only going to alleviate the halitosis, but you got to see your dentist. That yellow stuff on the bottom of your teeth, that's Parkway. It's eating away your gum line. I'm not talking bad about you, but you got to go get your teeth fixed. Here's the number to my dentist's office. And that's nothing wrong with it, right? At times you need people to be able to tell you the truth. 305, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, Law? How you doing?
Nothing to it. It's your world.
Yeah, man. I'm just going to get some thoughts. You know, I think the Cowboys should get Cam Newton. I think that would be a big move, whether you love him or hate him. Mm-hmm. He's obviously the best choice for backup quarterback. And if something does happen to Dak, which we all hope nothing happens to Dak, he's clearly the starting quarterback. But if something does happen to Dak, you don't want a quarterback that's going to get nervous in the playoffs or is going to fold under pressure. No. You want a guy that's been there before. You want a guy that knows that pressure. Someone that's gone up against one of the best defenses probably of all time in that Super Bowl against Denver. So I think, that would be a huge move. I know we just signed this guy, but I think the Cowboys, they shouldn't let this – I don't think they should just let this pass this opportunity up. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, thank you for calling in. The thing is that the Cowboys themselves, they made their mind up. Think about it this way. They signed Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is the backup. They signed Will Grier, and then they turned around and they said, okay, for all of the other services, on any other thing that we need to put a placeholder on, we got Benjamin DiNucci. And what they would do in a situation like this, they would give you the same talk track and the conversational piece that they did before, the comfort of the system. They would showcase that, hey, DiNucci, when his number was called that last drive in that final preseason game, he went through the progressions pretty well. So in this pinch, if Rush goes down and Will Grier doesn't do right and wet the bed, they would still sell that same conversational piece that, hey, we still got DiNucci, who didn't get a chance to play with the first team, who was able to play with that third or fourth team and was able to drive down the field and score a touchdown. That is the way that they sell it. And unfortunately, that is what we have to deal with dealing with the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately.
I hear you.
Unfortunately, man, I hate to be Debbie Downer on that one, but that's just how it goes. But bringing in somebody like a Cam, they would lean on the negative. They would say, well, hey, it's the vax problem. You know, he's not vaxxed. Hey, he can derail the whole entire season because if he can get it and then it spread like wildfire, then it could be a situation where we lose game. We don't need to entertain that. But what I'm saying is, I hate when the Cowboys paint themselves and pinpoint one player. You see, Cam Newton was just a part of the puzzle. There are many other quarterbacks that they should have brought in, you know, and entertained outside of Cam. Yeah.
At least for a cup of coffee.
At least for a cup of coffee. Thank you so much for calling in, fam. Thank you. Good call from the 305. So that is what I'm saying, collectively speaking. I'm not saying paint yourself into a corner and only think Cam Newton. That's just the hot spices that was left on the shelf. But I'm quite sure that there are other quarterbacks that's more validated. And I know validation is only good for parking, but there's other quarterbacks that you can bring in that have better numbers. And I'm not saying that 2019 you painted Will Grier into that corner of him throwing 4 interceptions and having a QBR 3.2. No. But what I'm saying is that there's some other quarterbacks out there. It wasn't just like, okay, it's Will Grier or bust. You know, like people are putting in the comment box, Nick Foles and some other guys. But I got my favorite uncle over here, one of them. Hey, the 205. Let's go.
What's going on, baby?
Nothing to it, Chief. How you living?
Man, just taking it day by day, man. Trying to duck and dodge this COVID, baby. Just trying to stay safe. That's all I'm trying to do. How your family doing, Law?
Family doing well, and everything is okay. You know, everybody's is upright over here.
Well, you know how it is. Happy wife, happy life.
There you go.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Let me give him a comment, man. Let me explain something to you, man. We're in a prime position to do big things with this organization.
Right.
But if we keep making stupid mistakes and idiotic decisions, we're going to end back in the same situation. I heard Jerry Jones say Cooper Rush is on a high level. Jerry, you're senile, you're rich, and you don't need to talk no more. You're smoking that expensive crack. So please stop it, Jerry. Please. Every time you say something, I got to go check my front door. But let me just say this, man. You know, let's give Cam a chance. But let me just say this, Law, and I want you to follow me on this. Maybe some Cowboy fans might follow me on this. I want you to know this, Law. I love all people.
Right.
I love all people. And like I said, you respect people and you expect to get the same amount of respect back.
Right.
Well, let me get this thing straight with Cam Newton. I want people to follow me now. Don't take it personal. Some people don't like outgoing people. Some people don't like outgoing African-American athletes. What I mean by that is that Cam is outgoing. He's outspoken. He dresses up. I know to dress like Cam, you got to be smoking weed. You got to be smoking it. But he's outgoing. He dressed well. He's a great athlete. And Cam got something that the Cowboys don't got. He made a Super Bowl appearance. So before we go throwing Cam out the door and thinking that he don't have experience or we don't want to put up with his, outgoingness, maybe we need to turn around and change our thinking. Let me explain something to you. Cam was giving footballs to little kids in his state. He was giving to white kids, and he was giving to all color kids. But then he started giving footballs and jerseys to the black kids. Well,
the conference has been locked.
Some people didn't like that. And then when he went down to New Orleans down there, and he did the Superman, you know how he used to do Superman and be dancing and all that? Some people didn't like that.
Right.
And all of a sudden, 2 days later, his truck turned over. That is not by accident. That's by design. And then he started getting hit on the head in the games. They knew what they was doing. They was trying to sit him in this place.
Right.
You can't be too outgoing. And I hate to say that, Because the way I look at it, somebody asked me, Uncle Charles, when will racism end? I said, never, until the end of time. Or it might be right around the corner if we don't get rid of this damn COVID. But let me just say this in closing. I love all people. White, black, and let me tell you something, man. I got some Mexican guys I drink a cold one with every now and then. The only thing I have to stop me when I start eating them hot-ass tacos. I can't go with them on that. But I'll drink a cold beer with you all day. But let me just say this, man. You got this parents in Yugoslavia. They had a baby, 17 pounds and 18 ounces.
Right.
Well, they want the hospital to get a baby the right kind of milk. They want to get a baby milk with hormones in it. The growth hormones. And every time you look around, the baby got bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden, the damn baby started driving the car, going shopping for groceries, and had a little twig of hair on top of his head, looking like alfalfa from the Three Stooges.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. You cannot continue to do things and continue to get the same results. That's what you're going to do. We all was young one time. I remember we used to be young back in high school. We used to jump in Village Creek bucket until we got our kneecap knocked off. Now we don't got much stuff, and we walk around with a hickey up and a giddy up. Well, you understand that you learn more when you're older than you do when you're young. And that's all I got to say, man. I want to tell you I love you, bro. You're doing tremendous work. We love you. We appreciate you, Lord. Don't think you're doing this in vain, bro. We love you, bro. And man, the day my life changed, man, when I met you and Bob, my nephew, and Steele, and Big Game James, my life was changed now. I was in a bad place, a dark place. But y'all pulled me out that place, bro. That's my brother, heavenly brother. And I love you for that, bro. And that's all I got to say.
Love Uncle Charles, man. Bringing all types of heat over here on the channel. And I know that people will have different opinions and views of all of what he just said, but he's been on this plane for longer than I have, and his experiences is his experiences, man. So I can't decipher or take away from what he is saying in any shape, form, or fashion. But we're going to have to figure this thing out down the line. But I'm glad that that from my words, that I was able to get him up out of that dark space, that dark spot, and he able to get things going in the right direction. I got my guy, 254, you live.
What's up, Law? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you live like 95.
Yes, sir. Hey,
Yeah.
man, I just want to say, man, yesterday that was an awesome show. You and the Final Word.
Okay.
And that sermon that you preached yesterday in closing.
Yeah, in closing.
I really enjoyed it. Yes, sir. And I really want to, send prayers out to Uncle Charles, man. I'm glad that he's out of that place, and we're going to continue to pray for him that he stays up out of that place.
Right.
But, I got an opinion, man, that probably a lot of people not going to agree with, and it's probably a mute point, but I was kind of happy they brought back Deontay Burton. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, my God, he got burnt, and I hate it.
Right.
If you really watch Deontay Burton, man, those were some circus catches that those receivers was making on him. He was right there. I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Right? He was in position. It's just those receivers just made Sports Center top 10 catches. Those were some crazy catches that them Jacksonville receivers was making. And I was just like, if he could just turn, maybe tipped his head. If his head was a size 8 and not a 7 1/4, it probably would have bounced off his head and not into the receivers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the Cowboys saw something. And, the rest of us was seeing like, oh, he got caught on.
Right.
Get him out of here. He just, spilled the I think the Cowboys did a little bit more research than what we did. And I think they saw the same thing. Like, this man was in position. All it takes is just a little coaching.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get him in going in the right direction. Which I know Chidobe Awuzie had that same problem, and he just could never overcome it. But
and they so happen to look. They so happen to look just alike, right? They look just alike out there. But you know what? It's kind of like I heard this saying before. Not everybody's lying, right? There's some truth in some things. And it's kind of like you busting in on R. Kelly and then you see that she's 17 and a half, and he's trying to say, hey, I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. It doesn't look like what it appears to be. She's 17 and a half, you know. But you get what I'm saying. You get what, yeah. So sometimes, man, sometimes it's look, how many teams out there, man? There's 31 other teams, right?
True.
So you mean to tell me the circus catches and all of the things that happen in training camp, which we can go argue back and forth with that, they can't evaluate somebody else to bring them in for a cup of coffee? So us Cowboy fans won't be like, hey, what's up with this one? She's 17, R. Kelly. Oh, I was just giving her a ride to the mall. Oh, I got out and I was just, hey. But no, go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, you're right. But you're right. You know, and I get that. It's just one of them type of things where, you know, and maybe you're right. There's 31 other teams, and I'm sure they all have a Deontay Burton on their team. That's got talent right there. And you just wish he could have made the play. I just look at it as, man, I wanted to look at it a little deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I hate to bring this man's name up because Jalen Smith. Okay, you look at Jalen Smith and you say, man, okay, it's not really nothing he does well besides come downhill. And if it's not coming downhill, he's lost in space. Like, there's no correcting that. Like, you can't say, okay, I'm going to take his leg off and put a new one on there. Like, he can't move. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But there's certain players that you look at and you say, okay, the skill set is there. He just needs a little bit more coaching, and maybe we can get him up to speed. And I think that's the Cowboys' way of looking at things. And I hate it because sometimes it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes you get a player, Terrence Steele, and I don't know what they see in Terrence Steele, but maybe they just see the measurables, and they say, okay, the long arms, you know, he's a little agile. If we could just get a little bit more, get him some of them peanut butter sandwiches that Voch be talking about, maybe we can get him to anchor down on these power rushes. And I just think the Cowboys, they feel comfortable with their guys. They just feel comfortable. Danucci look at them. They back on the practice squad. It's their guys. And I think a lot of that too. That's just the Cowboy way, and we got to deal with it. And I hate it, but that's just their way. And I try to open my mind up and say, okay, what is Jerry Jones and them thinking? You know, what are they thinking? Let me try to see what they're thinking.
Right. Living in the mind.
On them.
They're very, just like they got a lot of optimism, which is good. It's a good thing to have, and they're successful. You know, it's hard to tell people what to do when they are more successful than you, and that's just a problem with it. But wise men seek counsel from those who done it before, and it doesn't matter, man. Look, when we talking about it in a dog fight. Like for example, I go all the way back, and my uncle had to sit me down and have this conversation with me, and he would end up being right because I had this 1995 Honda Civic, you know, and right around that time, that was one of the first Fast and the Furious movies started coming out, you know, right around 1995, 1996.
Yes, sir.
And here I am with this car going into high school or what have you, and I was save and put back money. Buy a cool air intake, buy a new exhaust, bought a new manifold, bought a 17-inch alloy rims. I was saving up my money for all of that stuff, and bought different turbo injectors and things like that. End up spending tons and tons of cash on it. And my uncle would say, "Man, boy, what you doing with that go-kart?" And not understanding what he was talking about. But it didn't matter how much stuff I put on that car. It wouldn't do a job what an F-150 can do. It's souped up, it's nice, but that's just the limitations of that car. It's no fault to the Hondas because it saved good on gas or what have you. But when it was time for me to pull the hill, it started Harlem shaking. It's struggling to go up a hill because I done ran through it too much. The valves and stuff, sideways engine in a 4-cylinder car. Now, to this day, guess what, fam? You can't get me to go in a 4-cylinder car. I laugh at 4-cylinder cars. Right. You know, when I go renting, when I go to my other job and they fly me here, fly me there, and they say, well, Lord, what kind of options of cars you want? I look over the 4-cylinder cars. I look over the Prius, you know, because when I press that gas, I want to go. So I'm saying this long story is that it don't matter what Terrence Steele does this offseason. He's still that Prius. When JPP is lined up on the opposite side of him, that dog mentality, he's going to have to pull it from somewhere. And we haven't seen it all this offseason. Sue is looking at when he see Terrence Steele out there, if we don't have La'el Collins, he's going to sit there and say, hey, it's time for me to re-up and eat up, you know? So the Jones family got to understand that, hey, I'm not trying to put Terrence Steele or any of these guys in boxes. But if you want to win a certain type of way, you got to reach in your pocket to go get it. DiNucci, he ain't going to be one of those guys this day, or Will Grier or any of those guys going to be what we got out there that's available now that can bring forth extra attention for the Dallas Cowboys in a positive way. And we seen that last season. You are who you are.
Right. And I can tell you, man, I think the Joneses, and I think people around the league know this, is that they're patient.
Yeah,
and
they are.
I believe that's why, as cheap as Dallas is, players still come here. They still come here. They get the guys they want because they know that Dallas takes care of their players, man. They do. They really take care of their players because I'm telling you right now, and like I said, I hate pounding on them, but if Jalen Smith or Deontay Thompson was on the Patriots, they would have been gone 3 seasons ago. They would have seen these guys can't play, get them out of here. Get them out of here. But the Joneses, they are very loyal to their players. And if they're guys, and I think that holds some merit with players around the league. They think in their head, like, look, man, I can go to the Joneses and I can show what I got and gives them a little bit of talent, and they'll work with me for a few years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that was one big reason why Tony Romo came here, because he knew that he had a chance. And that it was, you know, the organization, when they fall in love with you, man, they hold on to you. And that's just, you know, that's just something I thought about, man.
And it is forever, though, man. You're on the right page, man. It's forever because here's all the truth. Once you in there, once you inside the family, man, you in there. Look at Barry Church, man. Man, look at Barry Church, man. Look at Big Nate Newton, man. They safe now.
Jesse Holly?
Jesse, my dog Jesse Holly, man. Oh, my goodness. Hey, I guarantee you, they picked up the phone and said, hey, I got this guy, Tony Romo, CBS. Interview him now. The Texans and the Washington team in Denver is trying to get my quarterback. You hire this man. Matter of fact, I'll give you the money to pay for him. You know what I'm saying? That's Jerry Jones power right there. Trust and believe.
And as much as we give him grief, man, Jerry Jones is the reason why we Cowboy fans. Jerry Jones make this thing go around, man, and he, like I said, I hate taking up your time, but you know, Jerry Jones, as much as we pound on him and Steven, I think they love this team more than anything, man. They love this team more than anything, and we just got to continue. I mean, we can't always pile up on. We got to kind of look at what's on the other side of the fence. And I always say, man, the front office. But this front office, hey, they gave us a good team. They've been giving us good teams. They just been underperforming. And the talent's been there. I don't care what anybody say. The talent's been there. They just underperform. And I just think, hey, man, it's something's got to give. Something's got to give, and I just don't know what that will be, man.
No doubt, man. You're
hey,
good.
Law, I'm out of here, man.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much, man. I need to get with Boss, man, because Boss knows about them corners. So I want to see his thoughts on Deontay Burton. Like, what's the problem with him? Because he seems to be right there. It's just he doesn't make the play.
Just doesn't make the play, man.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Are you not entertained? Are you not
Good call from
entertained?
him. He was the last caller of the day, by the way. I got to go pick up my daughter from school. But I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. It was a great conversation with each and every last one of you all. 501, you have to call back. The room is locked. We're going to shut it down. But I just want people to understand I'm not bashing the Cowboys. I'm not hating on the Cowboys. We're just talking out of the love for the Cowboys on what we need to improve on, whether it be the smaller things, the little things, believe it or not. But Jerry Jones 100, man. You know, he's the only guy that can get somebody off that stabbed somebody in the neck with scissors. I'm not even going to pull up the name. Y'all already know who the name of the person is. And I don't know too many people that can get you off of that hook. You stabbing somebody in the neck with scissors, and all of a sudden the case go away, not a single day in prison. You know, that goes a long way. Jerry Jones is the guy that can make sure that if you caught with 250 pounds of marijuana in your trunk, you don't serve time for that. You can Google the names of the players. I'm not finna throw that out there. But that's what Jerry Jones got the power and the ability to do such. That goes a long way. So, Cowboy Nation, man, I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for this conversation, for this day. Let's figure this thing out down the line. Appreciate you guys for subscribing. If you have not subscribed to this channel, you listen all the way to this point. Come on, man.
Shame.
Come on.
Shame.
Reno said Jerry's a jackass. He may be that too. You know, most people that got that longitude and latitude of money, they got some cockiness and some jackness about themselves. So I'm quite sure he's one of those guys too. But Jerry Jones, boy, he eat Whataburger 5 days out of a week, man. So and it could be contributed to some of that stuff that he does, right? Hey, Sam Hurd, Mike Meticulous Detail Podcast. No. This was before Sam Hurd with the 250 pounds of stuff. But Sam Hurd, he probably wouldn't even got jammed up if he was still with the Cowboys. But when he went over there to Chicago, Jerry Jones' reach may not be that long, though. May not be that long all the way over there in Chicagoland. But I hope all is well with Sam. Isn't Sam about to get out now? It's been a minute, huh? You know, can he get out on early? On good behavior? Is he still alive? Y'all let me know down in the comment box if Sam Hurd is still alive. Yeah, y'all let me know. David said, yeah, old boy got caught. So I ain't gonna say the man's name. But y'all read what David said, Cowboy Nation. I don't know about you, but 250 pounds is a lot of stuff. It is. But I come here to tell you guys, I say this all the time, but I want you guys to understand if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or lied about, don't deal in lies or hate it, and yet give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can hear the truth you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped and built back up again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, to lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe one word of your loss. If you can walk with kings and presidents, nor lose the common touch, and neither foe or loving friends can harm you, then you, my friend, if you, my friend, have unlocked the true meaning of what it takes to be a man. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Turn me up. Write that down, by the way. Put it somewhere in your heart. Creeds of your thoughts, creeds of your mind. And we tell him,
He needs some milk.
if he can't do those things. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Jerry, what you want?
I want me some glory hole.
Don't we all? Let's go. Yeah. Appreciate you, Dallas Cowboy, for life. Tonight, at 7:30, if God allows, we will be doing another episode with the round table. This time, it's against the foes. Lord Bronson. Yeah, y'all know his YouTube page. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Oh, by the way, we have Louis T. Washington team. You know, he's that guy. Louis T Network. We know. They want a cookie because they won a division last season. So give it to them. Shout out to them. And then we will have Bad Dog Sports. Y'all know who he is. Let's continue to grind and shine. I see y'all beautiful faces at 7:30. Let's put on for the Cowboys. Turn me up. Yeah. We out, baby. Yeah. Hold your drinks up. Salute to everybody. Let's go.
Nowadays, nothing really is ice. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please.
Shout out to y'all.
Hit the door.
Oh, Herb still alive. You heard? You heard. Appreciate her.
If you're down in my management, I'm just warming
Iceberg
up way too loud. Old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light.
That was easy.
Talk of the town when you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things when your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing really is ice.
Reno you crazy.
I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo.
Come on,
please,
keep it consistent, baby.
G's, no. I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends.
Louis T is reasonable. Yeah, shout out to Louis T.
Outside the city, I don't physically
shout out to Bad Dog.
Took so many years,
shout out to Lord Bronson.
I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins.
Yeah.
I do it for real, it's no reason to pretend.
But y'all know the nation. We on top, they still looking up. Cowboy Nation, all day, every day. They know not to mess with the Cowboys. Come on now. We on a 25-year vacation and they still looking up. Let's go. Come on. I'm gonna let them know that too. Come on. Like I said, if they think the Cowboys are not a better team than them, come on. If those boys really think that their team better than the Dallas Cowboys,
only buying car, take it tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No shame. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso.
That was easy.
I'm just doing me, everything is on me.
Be sure to hit that like button.
Add it up,
hey.
Euro, peso. Add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what?
My dogs, man. Line them up, baby.
Everything is on me, gon' back it up.
Come on. We out, baby. We're going to keep it consistent with everybody. Really appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of this episode. It's always a party when we go. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Yeah. I'm about to roll. Up out of here. Hey. Ho. Y'all see it?
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in.
Yeah. All the haters.
Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you.
And we tell them,
don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
No way, don't let it hit you.
You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too?
Happy birthday to everybody's birthday for this month. No doubt. Until next time, Cowboy Nation. We out. One love.
Play it too. I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do. Play it too. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. We out.